Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Adam Ellis here. Today in First Aid with Adam, episode 2, we're going to be looking at a level 2 first aid kit. Last week we looked at a level 1 first aid kit, what I carry around in my level 1 first aid kit. This week we're going to look at what I carry around in my level 2 first aid kit. As you can see, it is a bit bigger. Not by much, but it's more deeper rather than bigger. It is quite wider as well. You do have shoulder straps, but to come off just for the purpose of this video. They will go back on. You also carry handle, and I've also put a little first aid badge in there so you can tell it's first aid. Also, on the bottom, you got these like little spike legs. So when you put it on the ground, it doesn't actually go on the ground, it sits on the legs, so your stuff underneath don't really get ruined. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets on the outside and a big pocket in the middle. So what we'll do, we'll go around the outside first, then we'll get to the main compartment later on. I'm not too sure what kind of bag it is. I think it's a 600D. I'm not too sure about that. I just bought the bag. But it is good for me level 2. At some point, I might show you my level 3. I've not quite finished that bit yet. So once I've finished the level 3 kit, I'll then make a video for it. Like I said, this will be going on my channel today, on my page for those people who are following it. This will be a day early. If you're not following it, then this will be uploaded tomorrow on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. I'll put a link down below. So without further ado, let's get in to the level 2 first aid kit. And by the way, just before I start, this is what I carry in my level 2 first aid kit. I'm not saying that this is what should be in a level 2. This is what I carry in my level 2 first aid kit. Someone else's could be different. Like you could have an urban first aid kit, which would be different to mine. Obviously, if you got a trauma, that's different to my kit. And again, first aid kits keep changing. Like this will not, what I got in here now won't all stay in there. I'll keep changing and swapping depending on the environment. But this is what I carry in my level 2. And also, please do not administer any first aid you are not trained in by a professional first aid trainer. Now, I am not a medical professional. I'm just an advanced first aider, but I am in the process of training to get into paramedicine, to be a paramedic. Quite a way to go yet for that, but hopefully in the next 2 years I'm hoping to be a qualified paramedic, but that's for a different video. I'll talk about that in a story time, but for now, let's get into the level 2 first aid kit. Starting with this pocket here. Yeah, you'll be able to see that. Starting from this pocket, all that's in here are gauze pads and adhesive plasters and that. So, moleskin blister plasters. Obviously there's like 3 missing because I've had to use them before. Some eye pads, not what you play on, what you put over your eye for an eye injury. There's quite a few of them. And there's self-adhesive as well, which means it's just it sticks on. You don't need a gauze roll to stick it on. It sticks on itself. Some don't know if you can see that. They're like big plasters. It's a dressing 6x10, but it is like a big plaster. few of them. Abdominal pad. So basically it's like a little trauma pad. This one is 5 by 9 inches, which is 12.7 centimeters by 23, and it's literally just a big pad that soaks up a lot of blood. Always, most of them will have an expiry date. This one is March 24, 2024. Well, you are supposed, if they're out of date, you are supposed to get rid of them, but sometimes I don't because I'm not made of money. I can't afford to keep buying it all. It doesn't affect it in any way. It's just good to keep on top of it, but it doesn't really affect it anything in any way. So I just tend to keep it. Got some 8x10s, big plasters, and 10x10 big plasters as well. Again, these are 10x10 gauze pads, or gauze sponges if you'd like. Basically it's a cotton sponge soaking up blood, so a few of them. 3x3s. When it focuses, there we go. 3x3s, a few of them. A few more of them. Wound closure stitches, like I talked about in my last video. I always have them in every first aid kit. And then some big 10x15s, big plasters. Oh, chucking them everywhere. That's all that's in that pocket. I'll put these in. Sometimes I won't like put them back as we go, but these ones I will. Just so I've got a bit of space. And then in this pocket, this opens all the way. And then move it the way. That opens all the way up like that. And this one, we have right at the back. This is a pulse. I can't pronounce it. Pulse auxiliary oxygenation or something like that. It checks your pulse. I can't pronounce the name. So all you do is turn it on, put it on your index finger, and it automatically. So I've got 96% oxygen in my blood, and my pulse rate is going at 83 beats per minute. I can go back in there, and then here, some safety pins. Some of the products I do write on and how much is in, because sometimes you might not be the one using your own kit. You might be the one in need of first aid, or if it's like an emergency, you'd go straight over there. You tell someone to bring your kit while you're treating them. You tell them, oh, go and get some safety pins or 4x4s. They'll be like, what? So if you like label them, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's the one. Tongue depressors, again, I carry them in every kit because they're not just for checking. They're not just for checking like your tongue and that, like inside your mouth. They are good for other stuff, making fires, keeping a wound open while you clean it and stuff like that. Here, these are fever scan strips. If you can, no. Clinical thermometer, which is a fever scan, which looks like that. So they're the same, there's a few of them. So what you do, this bit here, so you'd forehead, and then you wait for about 30 seconds, and it'll tell you the temperature on the other side. What I'll do in another video. I'll show you how to use some of this equipment in another video, just not today. Again, a guide. I always carry a little basic first aid guide. And if any of you want any first aid guide, any first aid like leaflets like this, or any kind of first aid leaflets, let me know, because I've got quite a few here. I can get one sent to you. So that's that. Obviously a Sharpie, in case you need to write some stuff down, like the time you put a tourniquet on and stuff like that. What I'll do is I'll zoom in for, oh Jesus, that's better. I'll zoom in for this bit because it is quite tight to get this out. Let me see if I can get the name. Oh no, it will come out. Let me, there we go. Alright, a bit blurry if you zoom in. Here we have universal spray for surface cleaning and disinfectant. So you can use it on your tools, so your scissors or your tweezers, whatever. Or once you've done, you've bandaged someone up, you've done it on the desk or whatever, spray a bit of that and clean it, so you're not leaving germs everywhere. Trauma shears, I like these ones because I think I got an old one. Yeah, these are what you get in most first aid kits, these little trauma shears, but as you can see, you can't really get your hand in it. It does have a good grip in that, but that's how it is. Whereas with these bad boys, you can pretty much get 3 fingers, hey, and a thumb, and you got more control then. So 3 fingers and a thumb, and you got more control. I'll just take one of these because they're both the same. Pen lights. This one's from St John's Ambulance. Pen light. Quite bright.